Daivik, you will do?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Hamsa, you may also please remain unmuted and you can help Daivik if necessary. Yes, Daivik, please begin.
अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अबाललोचनः शम्भुर् भगवान् बादरायणः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् इतिहासप्रदीपेन मुवावरणगातिना लोकगर्भगृहं कृष्णं यथा वत्सं प्रकाशितं निःश्रेण्यो ब्रह्मलोकस्य वाग्दे व्याकरणकुण्डले धर्मद्रुममहामूले वाल्मीकिव्यासयकृति.
Thank you, Daivik. Let's continue from where we left yesterday. Can all the younger ones, children who are physically below the age of 15 or 17, please come on video? I am sure that many of the older people here consider themselves to be children, but I'm speaking about those who are below the age of 17, their physical age. Many people's mental age may be quite low. Well, okay, I think we should wait. More participants will join eventually, I think. Yeah, there seems to be a less number today. Also, perhaps because of the long weekend, today being Good Friday. Anyway, so it's good to learn the Mahabharata today also. So we had seen how Yudhishthira, because of his own fault, subjected himself and his brothers and his wife to this extreme trouble of being in the forest for 12 years and 1 year incognito. Period of incognito was called what? Quickly, Parjanya, do you want to tell? 1 year living without anybody knowing. What is it called? Adya, you want to tell?
Sir, can I?
Yeah. Please tell Parjanya.
Ajnatavasa.
Yeah, Ajnatavasa. So the 12 years in the forest, what was it called? Yes, Ahiri. Prerana. Yeah, anyone of you quickly unmute and tell. Can you tell Ahiri? I did not hear.
Ajnatavasa.
Yeah, that is living without knowing. For 12 years living in the forest, what was that called?
Vanvasa.
Yeah, exactly. Vanavasa and Ajnatavasa. Yes, correct. Okay. See, now because of his addiction, because of his mistake, everybody was subject to trouble and the kingdom did not have a good king. Okay, so the bad consequences of gambling, bad consequences of these kinds of addictions, it has an effect on the entire family, it has an effect on the brothers, it has an effect on the parents. So Kunti was also very sad. Just think about this. Saranya, would your mother be very happy if you have to go and live in the forest for 12 years? Yeah. Especially because of your own bad deeds. If you have to go and stay in the forest and your cousins have thrown you out of your house, no mother will be happy. It's such a painful thing for the parents, right? So Kunti was also in great pain. Just recall that the Pandavas already had children by then. Prativindya, Shutasuma, etc. The Pancha Upa Pandavas were there. The 5 children who were born to Draupadi are called the Upa Pandavas. The 5 of them were there, and also Arjuna had a son called Abhimanyu. Right? Abhimanyu was born to whom? Arjuna and whom? Who is the mother of Abhimanyu? Quickly raise your hand and tell. Yes, Namit.
Subhadra.
Subhadra, fantastic. Okay. So all these children were there. What would be the fate of all of them? Right? So the Pandavas go to the forest. As soon as they enter the forest, Draupadi's older brother, Drishtadyumna, he comes and takes away the Upapandavas, the 5 Upapandavas. He says, I'll keep them in my kingdom. His kingdom was which? What was Drishtadyumna's kingdom? What was the capital city? Who will tell quickly? Yes, Ahiri. Yes, Nitya. Anybody? Unmute and tell. Panchala. Does anybody know what was the capital city of Panchala? I've not mentioned in the class. If you have read books, you'll know.
Sir, it was Ahijitra.
Ahitchatra, exactly. Anybody else? Any other answer? What was the capital city of Panchala? Has anybody heard anything else in this connection?
Is it Patliputra?
No, it was not. Anybody know something else? Yes, Hamsa.
Sampidya.
Yes, fantastic. Okay, now a question naturally arises. I said correct for both Ahitchatra and Kampilya. Why did I say right for both? I'll leave you all to figure out. That is also there in many of the books. Okay, so you know the answer, Hamsa. Why both are correct? Okay, we'll think about that later. Okay, not a time now. So Drupadimmna comes and takes away the Upapandavas. The Upapandavas are, after all, his nephews, isn't it? Drupadimmna's sister is Draupadi, and Draupadi's children are the five Upapandavas. Drupadimmna comes and takes them away, and Subhadra's son Arjuna and Subhadra are taken away by her brother, that is Krishna. For 12 years, while you are in the forest, I'll take care of them. So he comes and takes away. So the five Pandavas and Draupadi, they go to the forest. Back in the kingdom, Vidura starts advising Dhritarashtra that what you have done is wrong. Your sons, Duryodhana, Dushasana, their friend Karna, and their uncle Shakuni, they have misbehaved with the Pandavas. They have cheated the Pandavas. They have cheated in the game of dice. So Vidura tells Dhritarashtra this way, and Dhritarashtra gets very pained. He says, Vidura, you're my brother, but you're constantly supporting Pandu, who is dead. You're constantly supporting Pandavas who have gone away to the forest. So this is adharma that you're doing to me. Just think about this. What do you think, Mayank? Is it dharma or adharma to advise an older brother when he's making a mistake?
Sir, it is dharma if the older brother is doing adharma and younger brother has the opportunity to correct his older brother. And Dhritarashtra is doing adharma because he's favoring the Kauravas. Even Pandavas are like his children, his brother's children. So he should think good about them also.
Exactly. Where else do you find a similar situation, Mayank? Where else, in which other story? Anybody else? Where else do you see that the younger brother is dharmic, the older brother is adharmic? Yes, Rashmi.
Ravana and Vibhishan.
Exactly. Even in the case of Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishana, we see that Vibhishana was very dharmic, Ravana was adharmic. Vibhishana advised his older brother multiple times, and Ravana would not change. So Vibhishana left Ravana's side and joined the dharmic party. See, this is again very important. In your own family, if you find out that somebody is not being dharmic, somebody is not being right, then it's important for you to tell that what is being performed or whatever is happening here is not right. It's important for people to speak out their words. Okay, fine. Going ahead, all of you put your hands down. The question is answered. So Vidura advises Dhritarashtra, but Dhritarashtra gets annoyed. He feels very pained, and he tells Vidura, "You go wherever you want." So Vidura says, okay, is this how you are treating me? I tried to tell you some good words. He also tells you, Dhritarashtra, that the Pandavas will come back from the forest after 12 years. After 1 year of Ajñatavasa, they'll come back. Very good answer. I see another answer here. Vali and Sugriva, somebody who's very sharp, Akash, has mentioned this. There, Sugriva, the younger brother, was dharmic. Older brother was very adharmic. Thank you, Akash. I'm so glad that you know the Ramayana and the Mahabharata so well. Okay, Yudhishthira and Bhima. Okay, very nice answers coming in here. Yudhishthira was semi-adharmic and Bhima tried to advise him. The older brother did not listen. Okay, Namit also says that. So quite a few people have answered. So there are many instances where the older brother has not been dharmic and the younger brother has been dharmic. Okay, don't answer this now, but try to recall instances where the older brother is dharmic, the younger one is adharmic. Can somebody think of some such situations? Yeah. Okay, think about it and let me get back to the story here. Vidura tells Dhritarashtra that because of the mistake that your children have performed, all of them will be killed and earth will drink their blood. So Vidura tries to warn them that, but Dhritarashtra does not change his mind at all. He tells Vidura, you go wherever you want. I don't care. Okay. So then Vidura comes to the side of the Pandavas. He searches for them in the forest and comes there. So the Pandavas were in Kamyaka Vana. They were in a forest called the Kamyaka forest. Vidura comes and meets them there, and he tries to console Yudhishthira, Draupadi, Bhima, etc. It's so nice to have such an understanding family member, right? Nobody from the side of Dhritarashtra, nobody from the side of Kauravas came and consoled the Pandavas. Bhishma did not come forward. Drona did not come forward. Krupacharya did not come forward. Dhritarashtra did not come forward. But it was only Vidura who comes to the side of the Pandavas and consoles them and gives them confidence. Back here, back in the capital city, Hastinapura, Dhritarashtra starts feeling very sad. I lost one of my brothers, Pandu died. Now my other brother also has left me. I'm in great pain. He starts telling his favorite person, Sanjaya, who was also his personal charioteer. He starts telling him, and Sanjaya immediately rushes to the forest and gets Vidura back. Okay, so Vidura also melts looking at the pain that Dhritarashtra is feeling. But however, Vidura comes back and any amount of advice, still Dhritarashtra does not change. Now tell me a question for all of you. 12 years the Pandavas have to be in the forest. So should they be depressed and crying all the 12 years? Or how do you think they should spend their time? Okay, raise your hands and tell. What is the best way to spend 12 years by whosoever's mistakes, whoever did the mistake, you have been subject to that such a kind of situation, right? So now what would be the best way to spend the time? Yes, Arush?
Sir, they should not be depressed over the past. They should think about the future.
Excellent, beautiful answer. They should focus on the future. So how to focus on the future? So what is important for the Kshatriyas? So what kind of things can they do? Another question. Yes, Nitya, Dhanyashri, any one of you?
They should
Very
think
good.
of what to do after the period of Vanavasa, like how to get their revenge on the Kauravas and manage
Yeah.
the.
Right. So to get revenge on the Kauravas, very beautifully put. Where are you, Nitya, or who was it who answered? Yeah, very good answer. Yeah, but how to strengthen themselves, or what should they do to take revenge really well? Any more additions there? Okay,
No.
these
Sir,
children are
they
real.
Sir, they can start practicing of what they can do to win on the Kaurava.
Excellent. Very
start
good. So they
practicing.
can start improving their skills. All right. Now, this is what the Pandavas are supposed to do. What are the Kauravas supposed to do for 12 years? Who can tell? Raise your hands. 12 years they have got the kingdom, right? Who will tell? Mahati, Arush, Ahiri, anybody? Yeah, Vivan, all of anybody can just unmute and tell.
Sir, they should plan how to defend themselves from the Pandavas if they are coming back with the revenge.
Yeah. Oh, is that what they are supposed to do? Shouldn't they very heartfully welcome the Pandavas and repent for their deeds and listen to their uncle Vidura's words?
Sir,
Okay, very
they'll
good
try
answer.
to they'll try to plan so that the Pandavas cannot come back.
No. That is a wicked idea. Think in more dharmic ways. Ideally, what should they be doing? You ಎಲ್ರು ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಬುದ್ಧಿನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. So bad planning you're all teaching. So in all the audience here, there is a good thought and a bad thought apparently. That's supposed, yeah. Okay, now
They
let's
should
ask-
try.
The
They should
Pandavas
try
can repel on what they have done before and ask sorry.
Okay, very good. So 12 years, they have got time to introspect, repent, and tell sorry. Manage the kingdom. They have got so many people have given here. First is somebody, Sahana is saying they must perform tapas. That is too much for the kind of crookedness or wickedness that Kauravas have got. So much of spiritual enlightenment they won't get. At least listen to the good words of Vidura. And their aunt Kunti is also there in the kingdom. Listen to their good words. For 13 years, you have got the kingdom. Give good rule to the praja. Right? By hook or crook, you have gained the kingdom. It's important to give good rule. But then, like many of the others said, what happens is their minds become empty. Empty mind is a devil's workshop. Have you all heard this? If your mind is empty, it will only go towards destruction. Empty mind is a devil's workshop. So Duryodhana says that he has started feeling he's feeling bored back in the kingdom. See, he has got the entire kingdom under his control. I'm going a little forward in the story. I'll come back to the beginning of Taranya Parva. So Duryodhana says that he's feeling bored, and Karna gives an idea. Karna tells Duryodhana that I know the place where the Pandavas are, in which part of the forest the Pandavas are. Why don't we go to the Pandavas? Let us go decked in the best of our clothes. Let us go with all our queens, with all our women, with all our princes. We'll go there and we'll show off our wealth in front of them. See, as long as the Pandavas were in the kingdom, Duryodhana's mind was constantly occupied about how he can harm them. Once they are gone away, he does not know no other activity. ಇವ್ನಿಗೆ ಬರೀ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ತೊಂದರೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತಲೇ from his birth. Duryodhana has been thinking and planning how to harm them, how to get rid of them. Now he has actually gotten rid of them. Okay, so now he does not know what to do. Very bored. Okay, see, this is the nature of many people, unfortunately. People who do not have any positive hobbies, any positive habits, or any dharmic vision for life, their mind is always towards this negativity. When positive people go away, their negative thoughts will even more increase. Right? So Karna gives this idea that let us go on what is called the Ghosha Yatra. Ghosha means a cowherd village. Okay, all of you please remember this, a very important incident from the Mahabharata. So the Kauravas, Karna gives the idea that they go on a Ghosha Yatra. Ghosha means a cowherd village. It also kind of suggests that they will do a ghosha, they'll do a declaration, they'll do a show off of their wealth, the wealth they have got, the comforts they have got, the kind of chariots they have got, the kind of luxuries they have got, the kind of ornaments they have got. They want to parade themselves in front of Pandavas and poke fun at them. See, the kind of negative ideas, the kind of mentality that Karna has got. There are people who worship Karna and say that he has been traumatized and he's a tragic hero, etc. For the older people here, all these kinds of crooked and wicked ideas were given by Karna to Duryodhana. Although the Pandavas have not wronged him, Draupadi has not wronged him, nobody has wronged him, but still Karna gives these kinds of wicked ideas. So Duryodhana immediately says, "Oh Karna, we cannot do that. What will my father think? I must ask my father's permission before doing all this." As though he has been a very obedient child all through. ಅಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೂ ಅಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೂ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. As though he won't do anything without his father's permission. So then Shakuni says, no, Duryodhana, don't go and tell your father that you're going to parade in front of the Pandavas and poke fun at them, or you're going to show off your wealth. Tell your father that we are going to cowherd villages to take a count of the number of cows which are there in the villages. Then your father will agree. So Duryodhana, Dushasana, all of them go to Dhritarashtra and say, father, we want to go and count the number of cows which are in the bordering villages, the villages between the capital city and the border. The number of cows in the villages, we want to go and count. So Dhritarashtra says, yes, it's a very good idea. It's important to keep a count on the number of cows which are in our kingdom. So Duryodhana, Dushasana, they go a very lavishly decked up with all their women, with all their wealth, they go to the cowherd villages. So now it's like saying our Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his best advisor Amit Shah, they come to all villages around Bangalore, Karnataka to go and ask how many cows are there, how many male are there, how many female are there, how many are born, how many are yet to be born, etc. So is this what a person in position is supposed to do? Go himself to all the villages in a very lavish manner to count the number of cows? Absolutely not. Right? So the Pandavas, the Kauravas come, they parade in front of the Pandavas. Of course, Draupadi feels very agonized. She feels very painful. At our cost, they snatched away our kingdom and now they are parading here like this. So she's in great amount of pain. She scolds Yudhishthira. Bhima also scolds Yudhishthira. Then that evening, the Kauravas actually go to the cowherd villages. There they get drunk. They demand liquor from all the cowherd men. Okay, when they say that we won't give liquor and alcohol, they beat them up. They beat up the cowherd people, the village people. See, this is the kind of rule that Duryodhana is giving. All the innocent people in villages, you go and demand liquor from them, and if they don't give you, you beat them up. Horrible rule. And Karna was the one who suggested this idea in the first place. Okay, finally they get drunk and look at their bad intentions. That evening, they camp around the lake. In the lake, Gandharva women were taking bath in the evening. These Kaurava men go and watch that very curiously, how these women are taking bath. Such a vulgar intention, such an obscene mind and behavior they had got, right? So the Gandharva men immediately come there and beat them up. So Duryodhana, Dushasana, Karna, all of them are beaten up by the Gandharva men. Now, as soon as this starts happening, Karna gets scared and he gets on to Vikarna's chariot and escapes from the place. Okay? See, Karna is not even able to fight the Gandharvas. He does all the misdeeds. When they try to come and attack him, he escapes from there in a chariot. So then Duryodhana, Dushasana, Vivimshati, and a few others are caught by the Gandharvas. This news reaches Yudhishthira, who is in the forest nearby. Yudhishthira starts feeling very pain. Oh my God, my cousins. They are suffering in the hands of forest people. So this should not happen. Arjuna and Bhima get irritated. What are you telling my brother? See, this is what we were supposed to do when our wives Draupadi was being disrobed. Now look at the Gandharva husbands, how much they are protecting their Gandharva wives. They have beaten up Duryodhana, Dushasana and have captured them. So this is when a very famous statement comes. Mayank, after the class, please send it on the group. Yet asmabhir anushteyam gandharvais tad anushtitam. Can you search for this phrase and send the complete shloka here on the group? Now, yet asmabhihi anushteyam gandharvais tad anushtitam. A very famous statement, gandharvais tad anushtitam. Now, yen madbekagitto, whatever we were supposed to do, the Gandharvas have taught Duryodhana, Dushasana, Karna, and all of them a lesson. So what they have done is right, etc. Now Yudhishthira starts crying. Oh my God, I'm the oldest of the brothers. I'm older than Duryodhana, Dushasana, etc. Nam maneya maryade enagbeku, nam kutumbad maryade enagbeku. Our family respect. What should happen to that? See, for the outside world, we must appear very integrated. 100 Kauravas plus 5 Pandavas. All of us are 105. Anyonyavadantha Anna Tammendru. We are all very harmonious with each other. So to the outside world, we must project as though we are very united. Who will think that Pandavas and Kauravas are united? 100 set is in the kingdom. 5 of them are suffering in the forest. Will anybody get the impression that they are united cousins? Obviously not. But Yudhishthira says, in front of the Gandharvas, nam mana maryade hogbardu. So therefore, Bhima and Arjuna, you please go and protect our cousins Duryodhana and Dushasana. Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, they get very annoyed. They get very irritated. But this older brother starts doing a huge ruckus, saying that you should go and protect them. So Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, all the 4 of them come. See, Yudhishthira ishtiyalla heltane, ishtiyalla altane. He tells so much and he cries so much. But he does not come to fight the war. Bari kutkond instructions kododu. You should do that, you should do this anta. And madodella annaya. Kelsa madbidodu. So this is the nature of Yudhishthira. So Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, they come. Chitrasena was the leader of the Gandharvas. So all the 4 of them, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, they fight the Gandharvas. They rescue Duryodhana, Dushasana, and Karna. Karna, of course, had escaped already, Vivimshati and a few other people. So all of them they lose their faces. They feel humiliated. We cheated the Pandavas, but now when we were in another vulgar activity, in a very bad activity, the Pandavas came to our rescue. We were not even able to save our own selves. Matte Manabhanga. Again, they have lost their faith. Again, they have lost their virtue. Right? Absolutely. They had no virtue at all. Self-respect is completely gone. So Duryodhana, Dushasana, all of them come back and meet Karna in another place. Karna, as soon as he sees, looks at them, he says, congratulations, extraordinary job. Karna thought, that Duryodhana and Dushasana had defeated the Gandharvas. But then Dushasana, Duryodhana, all of them come crying there and say that no, 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 what is there to congratulate? We have been harmed and we have been humiliated by the Pandavas once again, and all this happens, and they go back to the kingdom. Okay, so this is what the Kauravas were engaged with when the Pandavas were away. Constantly, their mind was about how to cause more pain, how to entertain ourselves by harming the Pandavas. So now, what do you think, Rashmi? Deriving pleasure by causing pain to another person, that to your own cousins. How does that sound?
It's just ridiculous. It's like they don't have a life of their own. They just want to prove themselves to be better than the Pandavas. That's it.
Yeah. And how are they trying to prove themselves to be better? Just by
All
external wealth, display of wealth, and by cheating, by crooked methods. Right?
they're
Yeah.
not even trying to become better. They just want to show that they're better. That's even
Yeah,
worse.
exactly. From time to time, we see how at every instance the Dushta Chatushtaya is bringing their own self down. Absolutely nobody can respect them. Again, like I mentioned in yesterday's class, there are many people who support Duryodhana, who support Karna today. If anybody comes and argues with them, supporting these Dushta Chatushtaya, please explain to them these parts of the story, how ignoble the Kauravas have been. Okay, Parjanya, has anybody come supporting Karna to you? Yeah, have they come? Okay, fortunately not. Yeah, once you grow up, if you encounter such people, please tell them the reality. Okay, yeah, fine. Now, what happens was before that, when the Pandavas go to the forest, Yudhishthira tells Arjuna, "You are the son of Indra after all." Like most of you had guessed, the Pandavas plan for the future. So Yudhishthira tells Arjuna that it's important to develop skills. It's important to acquire the skill of magical weapons, magical astras, etc. So why don't you go and ask your father Indra to bless you with some of the mantras, some of the special weapons, that the vidya that he knows. Okay. Okay, I see some messages saying that somebody's dad supports Karna, somebody's uncle supports Karna. Okay, to all of them, make them listen to these classes. Make them go through the Mahabharata and tell them the reality of these characters. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, by next week, we'll finish the entire Karna episode also. What else Karna did and how else he behaved. We'll be covering that in the next week. Then you will get an even more holistic picture, even more wholesome picture. Okay, anyway, Yudhishthira tells Arjuna that it's time to develop skills, it's time to acquire more weapons. So why don't you go and perform tapas to Indra, Bhagwan Indra? So Arjuna goes to a mountain called Gandhamadana, which is beyond the range of the Himalayas that we see. Arjuna goes and tries to start performing tapas there, and suddenly he finds a Brahmana there who was in disguise. Brahmana asks Arjuna, "Who are you? Why have you come here? No human being can cross over the Himalayan mountains." Okay, many of you are asking questions already. Just hold on your questions and hold back your questions until we complete the course next week. You'll get answers to many of your questions on its own. You'll get to know the answers. Okay, so that old Brahmana who was in disguise, he asks Arjuna, "Who are you?" Arjuna says, "I am Indra's son, Arjuna. I've come here to pray for Indra." Then the Brahmana reveals his real form, and it was actually Indra in disguise. Indra tells Arjuna that before you, okay, all of you reserve your comments, very interesting ones. Yeah, before you get weapons from me, you'll have to pray to Bhagavan Shiva and get Pashupatastra from him. So Arjuna starts performing tapas to Bhagavan Shiva. The very word tapas comes from the word tapa. Tapa means something which is an activity of focus, a focused and concentrated activity. That is how the word tapas comes. Okay, so now Arjuna starts performing tapas. In the meantime, a Rakshasa called Munkasura, he tries to attack Arjuna in the form of a boar, in the form of a wild pig, a forest pig. Mukasura, Varaha Rupadalli, he tries to come and attack Arjuna. At the same time, Shiva notices how devoted Arjuna is. Shiva and Parvati, they also come in the disguise of hunters, along with their Shivaganas. All of them come in the disguise of tribal people to hunt the same Mukasura, who was in the form of a boar, a wild pig, a wild boar. Okay. So Arjuna realizes that there is this Mukasura who has, there is a boar which is trying to attack him. He shoots an arrow. At the same time, Shiva, who has come in the disguise, he shoots an other arrow at the pig, at the wild boar, and at the same time, both arrows pierce the body of the boar, and the boar dies. Then Arjuna starts saying, "It is my place. This is the place where I am performing tapas. Who are you, hunter? Why have you come here?" Arjuna starts insulting the person who is in the disguise of a hunter. Arjuna tries to show his power over the hunter. He tries to get in a competition with hunter. He takes a sword and slashes it on the head of the hunter. The sword itself breaks into two pieces, but the head of the hunter does not break. So, what do you see in the nature of the hunter and Arjuna here, Hamsa? What do you see from Arjuna's behavior? Quick. Yes, Dhatri?
Sir, we see that
Sharanya?
here even Arjuna is trying to show off his powers,
Right,
and
exactly.
also Shiva is like he is laughing in his mind only, like how vain he is acting, like that.
Yeah, brilliant. Very good answer, Dhatri. Okay. So yeah, Arjuna is a bit arrogant. So many of you have said that. Okay, Arav, or you wanted to say something?
Oh yeah, I think Arjuna like was acting that way because like he thought that he was going to kill the boar, but then the hunter in disguise as Shiva came and then also shot the arrow, so that's probably why he got agitated and then
Oh,
he started like insulting and then he tried to kill the
right,
hunter.
right, right. Okay, very good. Yeah. So now, although the original does not say this, there is another story. According to which Arjuna had actually got a Shivalinga there. He wanted to gain more power to win over this hunter. So he starts performing puja to the Shivalinga, and he finds that the puja, all the flowers that he's offering on the Shivalinga, is actually going and falling on the hunter's head. So Arjuna starts feeling amazed. Who is this hunter? Then he realizes that it is Bhagavan Shiva himself who has come in the disguise of the hunter. And Shiva shows his real form and he gifts the Pashupatastra to Arjuna. Why is it called Pashupatastra, Mayank or Sharanya?
Because Pashupati is another name of Shiva and Pashupati. So
Exactly. So
Shiva's
it is an astra. It is an astra. It's a weapon. It's a kind of arrow which is gifted, which is blessed by Shiva. Pashupati is another name of Shiva. So Pashupatastra. That is how the name comes. Okay. Then Arjuna was very glad. Shiva is also very glad looking at the bravery of Arjuna and looking at the dedication of Arjuna. Of course, Shiva would have advised probably for to Arjuna not to be so arrogant and not to be judgmental about the hunters, etc. Then Arjuna goes to Indraloka. Indra blesses him with various different kinds of weapons. Indra blesses him with Indrastra, Aindrastra. Varuna blesses him with Varunastra. Parjanya, that is the god of rain. Indra himself, he blesses Arjuna with Parjanyastra. This way he gets many different skills. And then Arjuna comes back. Once, while they were in what is called the Kamyakavana, Draupadi gets a very nice fragrance from a far off place. So she gets very delighted feeling that fragrance. It was from something called the Saugandhika Pushpa. Saugandhika, the very word Saugandhika means something which is very fragrant. So she badly wanted to get that flower. See, so far, Draupadi has never expressed any wish of hers. For the first time, she expresses a wish, and Bhima immediately says that he'll be very happy and glad to go and get the Saugandhika Pushpa for her. So Bhima goes into the place where he follows the Gandha, he follows the fragrance and goes into the forest. There, while he's about to get the flower, he encounters a very huge monkey. Who was the monkey? Many of you might know the story. Okay, many people already answered in the chat. Okay, so that was Hanuman after all. So Bhima goes there. Bhima goes there and he sees that on the path in which he was supposed to walk, there's this huge, not very huge, it was huge in the past. Now it looks very old and weak, was sitting on one side and its tail was spread on the path. So according to the Indian tradition, see, it's very important to pay respect to every animal, every human. It's not nice to cross over another person. See, if somebody is sleeping somewhere, it's not right for you to jump over that person. It's like disrespecting the person. So Bhima says, why don't you move your tail a bit? I want to walk this path because my wife Draupadi is waiting for the Saugandhika Pushpa. But Hanuman, who is the old monkey, Bhima does not yet know this. He says that I'm very old, I can't move my tail on my own, so why don't you move it? So Bhima thinks, what is this annoying old monkey which has come in my way and which is blocking my path? Okay. So Bhima thinks that he can very easily move the tail. He tries to do that. The original does not say this. Many other versions say that he tried to move the tail of the monkey with his little finger. It wouldn't budge. He tried to do it with his left hand. It wouldn't budge. He tried both his hands. The tail of the monkey would not budge at all. Bhima then says, I am the son of Vayu. I am the son of Hanuman. I have a lot of power. You are a useless monkey. Old monkey like you think I cannot move your tail? So Hanuman, who is actually in disguise, he asks, who is Hanuman? I have never seen him or I have never heard of him. The monkey itself says. Then Bhima, using his gada, etc., he tries to move the tail. Still, he is not able to. So, what do we see here now? Something very similar to the case of Arjuna. So, what do we see from this episode? What are these divinities trying to do? Okay. Dhatri and Ritu, you want to answer?
Sir, here also Bhima is overconfident and the divine people they are trying to bring them back to bay, keep them at bay. Like,
Very nice. Excellent. See, Bhagavan Shiva, Indra, Hanuman. See, Indra is the father of Arjuna. Hanuman is the older brother of Bhima, right? So, older brother because Hanuman was also born to Vayu. All of you know that. Hanuman is Vayuputra. Bhima is also Vayuputra. In addition to acquiring weapons, in addition to acquiring physical strength, the divinities are also trying to help the Pandavas, Arjuna and Bhima especially, to become more humble, to become mentally strong, to develop certain positive qualities. Okay. So now Bhima kind of accepts his defeat and he requests the monkey to show his real form. Then Hanuman reveals his true form and says that I am your older brother. From now onwards, whenever you want any kind of help, I'll always be by your side. So Hanuman makes that promise to Bhima. So then he also shows the Vishwarupa. Hanuman shows his Vishwarupa, his grand form, extraordinary form. So Bhima, for the first time, he is meeting his elder brother. And the elder brother has already taught him the lesson. Okay, now Shamsar, Rashmi, whoever has the essential Mahabharata, go to page 341. Okay, I want you to read out certain passages. So all these things happen, and different sages visit the Pandavas while they were in forest. Sage Markandeya comes, Sage Maitreya comes. Many of these people come, and each time when a sage comes, Yudhishthira asks them advice about how to be and how not to be. Every sage tells a different story, trying to educate the Pandavas about how to be. See, it's not just about developing physical valor. It is also an internal change of attitude which should come, especially to Yudhishthira, right? Not to anybody else, because it's because of his fault that all these Pandavas are suffering, all the other Pandavas are suffering. So, many sages come, they tell the stories of Rama and Lakshmana and Sita. The story of Ramayana comes as a part of the Aranya Kanda. The entire story of Ramayana is told by one of the sages to Yudhishthira to tell How? Because of no mistake of Rama, no mistake of Sita, no mistake of Lakshmana, they were made to suffer. So can somebody recite this Bhoga Re Navayavane Pivipine? Anisha wants to do that. Okay, Hamsa, please go ahead.
भोगार्हे नवयौवनेऽपि विपिने धीराम्बरो राघवः तत्राप्यस्य परेण दारहरणं क्लेशस्तदन्वेषणे सम्प्राप्तापि जनापवादरजसा त्यक्ता पुनर्जानकी सर्वं दुःखमयं तदस्तु भवतां श्लाघ्यो विवेकोदयः.
So what do we learn from the Ramayana? There are many, many things that we learn from the Ramayana, but what the Ramayana is trying to show us is that even when a person is dharmic, he may undergo suffering. Rama made no mistake. He was in the peak of his youth. The people of the kingdom loved him. But still, for no mistake of his, he was sent to the forest and he had to stay there without proper food, shelter, and clothing. But still, he did not develop bitterness with the world. See, it's very important for the old people here, especially to realize this. Many older people, they have this tendency of saying, the world wronged me, the world cheated me, this person did so much to me. So that sense of irritation, sense of bitterness, many people harbor in their minds. But look at the nature of Rama. Whatever the kind of problems the world threw at him, Rama never lost his dharmic thought, never lost his dharmic vision. So at the peak of his youth, when he could have been the best king, he could have enjoyed the best luxuries, for no mistake of his, he was sent to the forest because Kaikeyi wanted it. But still, he did not lose the stability of his mind. See, if somebody cheats you or somebody wrongs you, all the children here, it doesn't mean that you have to keep on crying to everyone who comes, or you have to keep on becoming bitter about everyone. Just because one person has cheated you, that doesn't mean that the entire world is bad. Right? You can be nice to the other people of the world. That is what we see from the nature of Rama. Right? Bhogare navayavane pivipine chirambaro ragavaha. Right at his young age, because of a problem in the family, he had to go to the forest. There, while he was in the forest, because of an other person, Ravana in this case, he had to suffer. Rama also tried to fulfill the one desire that his wife had, Sita had, to get the golden deer. That was the first desire that Sita had ever expressed. Sita, of her own accord, had come to the forest with Rama. Nobody asked Sita to go to the forest. She had come on her own. For the first time, she expressed a desire that she wants to get the golden deer. But then Rama goes to get the golden deer, and here Sita gets abducted. So he tries to make Sita happy, but Sita suffers and Rama suffers, Lakshmana also suffers. Parena Daraharanam. The first problem was caused by his own family. The second problem was caused by a second person, that is a third person, who is Ravana. Then Sampraptapi Janapavada Rajasa Tyakta Punar Janaki. Even when Sita was gotten back by Rama, because of the sling of mud, the character question that people of Ayodhya asked about Sita, she had to be sent away to the forest again. No mistake of Rama and Sita, still so much of suffering. Sarvam dukkhamidam tadastu bhavatam shlagyo vivekodaya. Don't lose viveka. Don't lose wisdom. See, whenever we feel sad, whenever we feel angry, we don't know how we are acting, how we are behaving. But what Ramayana, one of the very important things that the Ramayana is trying to teach us is that we should not lose viveka at any point in time. Now, because I mentioned in the passing about Sita Parityaga, I don't want questions about Sita Parityaga here after the class. I have answered that question in the two videos that I have shared. I request people to watch that. If anybody has questions about, is this right for Rama to do that? Was that right for the people to question, etc.? Just go through them with patience. Don't get heated up and jump to conclusions, etc. Okay. Now, what are the other stories that the sages tell tell Yudhishthira? Do you know, Pavani? Any other stories that the sages tell?
Sir,
While they are
Nala and Damayanti's story.
Exactly, yes. And then what other story?
And
One other
Savitri and
Satyavan
Satyavan.
story. Fantastic. And one more story.
The story of Mongoose.
That comes later on. Very good, Pavni. There is another story. How many of you know this?
Shakuntala.
No. That does not come here. The story of Dharma Vyadha. Another very interesting story. I'm not going to narrate that here. I have insisted to everyone to go through the works. In 15 days, in 15 hours, it is impossible to narrate the entire Mahabharata. It took 12 years for Ugrashrava Sauti to narrate the Mahabharata. 12 years every day for many hours every day. So don't expect me to finish the Mahabharata, although my name is Arjuna. In 15 hours, I cannot finish the story. Whatever took 12 years. Okay. So the story of Satyavan Savitri, how Savitri, even when she knew that her husband was going to die, she goes and rescues, she still marries him and goes and fights with Yama and does not mean physical fight. She convinces Yama and gets back her husband Satyavan. And the story of Nala and Damayanti, where Nala, because of his own mistakes, he loses his wife, his kingdom because of his addiction to gambling. All these stories we come across in the Aranya Parva, and how Nala eventually reunites with his wife and children. The other story is the story of Dharma Vyadha. Does anybody know the story of Dharma Vyadha? Okay, Anisha, do you want to tell it in brief? Just in 2 minutes, what is the summary of the story? See, among so many people whom I had told, so only a few of them have read the Aranya Kanda apparently. Yes, Anisha.
There was a Brahmana named Kaushika, who was performing his Pratha Sandhya Vandana and all. And that time he was sitting below the tree, and Krauncha Pakshi
so you also have to read it.
Okay. I know it, but I don't know how to tell it.
Okay, fine. Yeah. All of you, please put efforts to read it. So naturally, it is showing that you are all not working enough. Okay, let's go ahead. Now, one other thing which happens, we'll just conclude the Aranya Parva. While they are in the forest, in the last days in their forest, the Pandavas grow very tired and they grow very thirsty. That is when Yudhishthira asks Nakula to go and fetch water from a lake. Nakula goes to the lake. I won't tell the name of the lake. Let me see who will tell what was the name of the lake, where the Yaksha Prashna, another important episode, happens in the Mahabharata. So Nakula tries to go and fetch water from the lake. So he hears a voice which says that unless you answer the questions that I have asked now, you should not touch the water. You should not drink water from the lake. So, however, Nakula does not pay heed to that advice. He does not pay heed to that question or that voice that he hears. He immediately drinks water and he falls dead right in front of the lake. Next, Yudhishthira becomes really anxious about where Nakula went. He sends Sahadeva to look for Nakula. Sahadeva comes and sees that his brother has fallen dead there, and he hears the same voice. You should not drink water here unless you answer the questions that I'm asking, right? So Sahadeva does not pay heed to those words. He drinks water and he falls dead. Then Yudhishthira sends Arjuna to find where Nakula and Sahadeva went. Arjuna goes there and he finds that Nakula and Sahadeva have fallen dead there. So then again he hears this voice. The voice says that your two brothers, your two younger brothers, they did not listen to my voice. They drank water without listening to me. So that is why they have fallen dead here. So you will listen to me. Before you drink water, please answer the questions that I asked. But then Arjuna also does not listen to this voice. He starts shooting arrows in all different directions. Where is this Asharira Vani coming from? I am skilled at Shabdavedi. Shabdavedi, I can shoot arrows in any direction. Right? So again, that arrogance of Arjuna comes. He sees his two brothers are dead, but still he shoots those arrows. Right? So then again, he drinks water and he falls dead. Finally, Bhima comes there. The same warning, the same voice is heard by Bhima, but Bhima drinks the water and falls dead. Finally, Yudhishthira goes there. And when the voice calls out, saying that, look, all your four brothers have fallen dead because they did not pay heed to my words. So now at least you pay heed to my words. So then Yudhishthira controls himself and he starts answering the questions which were asked by that invisible entity. The invisible entity becomes visible in the form of a yaksha. What were the questions asked by the yaksha and what were the answers given by Yudhishthira? In the next class, Hamsa and Anisha will narrate them in a very entertaining and in a very educating and a very animated manner with figures and diagrams, very abstract thing. But let us see how the two of them work together and understand this section of the Yaksha Prashna and put it together. Okay, I'll stop here for the day. 5 minutes if anybody has a question or a comment about what we have covered so far. Not what is going to come later in the story, only what we have covered so far. I'll be happy to answer. Yes, Namit.
No, sir, I wanted to tell the name of that lake.
What did you want to tell?
I wanted to tell the name of that lake.
Name of?
The lake where the Yaksha.
Yeah, what is the name of the lake?
Deoriatal.
Sorry.
Deoriatal.
Never heard of that. Yeah, Dhatri.
Sir, you told now in Rama, there is no mistake. Like he had to go to the forest. I have written some books and they have written, the authors have written it was because of Shani, the Sade Sati, that period. Is it true?
No, it is not. It is not true. The original Ramayana does not say this. Yes, Mahati.
Mahodaya, actually, I wanted to answer a question that you asked. You asked us whether, like a question that an adharmic older brother and an adharmic younger sibling. So,
Adharmic older brother and adharmic younger one.
no, dharmic older brother and adharmic younger.
Okay. Where do we see that?
I think Amba was more dharmic than Ambika and Ambalika because she fought on justice. Like she knew that she wanted to marry someone else, and that Bhishma was adharmic by kidnapping them. So, but Ambika and Ambalika, they didn't fight against this. So I feel Amba was more dharmic in that situation.
No, she was bolder. It's not that any one of them were adharmic. Ambika and Ambalika were also very nice women, but they were not as bold as their older sister. That's it. All the three of them suffered. Amba, Ambika, Ambalika, all the three of them suffered. Yes, Akash.
So, sir, this is from the starting of the Mahabharata. So when Shantanu wants to marry Satyavati, he could have gotten Satyavati married to Bhishma. It would have been way more useful.
But absolutely way more useful. Okay. But he had fallen in love with Satyavati, right? So he wanted to marry her. It would have been better to get Bhishma married. Yes, very true. Very true. But he wanted to have a second wife. Yes, Sharanya.
Sir, I just wanted to tell the name of the lake that
Yes,
the
what
pond.
is this?
It's
Yeah.
Yaksha Sarovara or Vishwa Sarovara.
Really? Can somebody find out and tell? Where did you get this name from?
I think I read it somewhere, sir.
Okay. Fine. Figure out. Yeah. Yes, Dhatri and Ritu.
So what did Abhikashara do to make Krishna turn him into a bug?
Sorry. What? What did who do to turn him into what?
Basically, Abhimanyu was a Rakshasa before. Krishna turns him into a bug because he did something wrong. So what is that?
Abhimanyu was a Rakshasa. Never heard this story. Abhimanyu is a very nice son of Arjuna and Subhadra.
Basically,
no, please, all of you. Oh my God, I'm getting shocked hearing these questions. Where are you picking up these stories from? these kinds of interpretations from? Rama was suffering from Sade Sati. Abhimanyu was turned into a bug. Do you mean Ashwatthama?
No, before,
He
like he was a Rakshasa, then he turned into a bug, then he went into Subhadra's navel, and then he was born as Abhimanyu.
Who says so?
in a
A
class.
teacher, a class.
I've never come across this anywhere in the original. Nowhere in the 1 lakh shloka this says. Some cooked up story. What, Mayank? Have you heard this?
Sir, I have not heard this, but I have, like, I read in Puranic Encyclopedia of why Abhimanyu died at the age of 16. So,
Okay, first of all, we have not yet come until the death of Abhimanyu. If somebody did not know young Abhimanyu at the age of 16, he dies. Very frustrating and very sad tale. Okay, why does he die?
Sir,
Because of the wickedness of Duryodhana and Dushasana and the wicked ones. Okay.
but there's a reason why in 16 years he died. So in Swargaloka, Chandradeva had a son called Varchas. So Varchas got some curse, I don't remember what curse it was, and he had to suffer 16 years in Bhuloka. So Varchas was reborn as Abhimanyu, and he lived for 16 years and finished his curse.
Okay, so that links up to the Chandravamsha also. Anyway, these people are Chandravamsha people, the Chandravamsha, the lineage. And he is also Chandra's son. Okay, some Purana has come up with the story. Okay, whatever we have covered so far only, can you please ask questions connected with that or any interpretations?
Sir, you told that a dharmic younger brother and a dharmic older brother. I have another example.
What is it?
Like Pandu was like kind of dharmic, and the Dhritarashtra was dharmic.
Yeah, very good. Okay. Omkar? Yes.
Another example, Dhruva and Uttama.
Yeah, very good. Dhruva was the younger son. Uttama was the older brother. Very good, Omkar. Yes. Nitya?
Sir, I came across a case where the older brother is adharmic, the younger sister is dharmic, Rukmi and Rukmini.
Oh, fantastic. Very nice story, Nitya. Yeah, very nice one. Yes, Samhita. I'll stop in a minute.
Sir, many people say if Shantanu wouldn't have married again, the whole Mahabharata wouldn't have happened. Is that true?
Good, right? Good, right? All this quarrel and fight and all wouldn't have happened. If Bhishma had married and had got dharmic children, this wouldn't have happened, right? So that father, Shantanu's old age desire of marrying a young lady, that led to a lot of negative consequences, right? Naturally. So many mistakes at several different generations and several different generations reflects across in the lives of different people, the young ones as well.
And
Yes, we'll
also
stop at this.
And also, does that mean because Vyasa was the wife, is the son of Shantanu and the son of Shantanu's wife, the young wife. So basically, does that mean Vyasa saw the whole Mahabharata, then wrote it?
Yes, very much. Yes, exactly. He saw the Mahabharata and wrote it. We'll conclude with Arundhati's question.
Sir, it's not a question. I just wanted to give an example. For like the younger dharmic sister and elder adharmic brother, can Kamsa and Devaki be a good example?
Very nice, very nice. Yeah. Within a family, within siblings, you see that Kamsa and Devaki were actually cousins. Some people, they were own siblings also. The Puranas say they were cousins. But yeah, a very good example. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's conclude today's class. All of you, the next 2 days, spend at least a couple of hours, revise whatever has been taught. I have not covered many stories which occur in the Aranya Parva. I have skipped many of them. Dharma Vyada story, please go through it. Yaksha Prashna, please go through it. Please see the condensed version of the Aranyakanda in one of the books that we have recommended. I'm disappointed. I am disappointed with all of you but none of you have gone through it very thoroughly. So please put efforts to go through it again. So who will tell the concluding prayer?
Arav will do it.
Yeah, Arav, will you do it? Maya, keep yourself unmuted. If he needs help, you can interrupt and help him. Yeah.
रत्नोदारचतुस्समुद्ररशनां भुक्त्वा भुवं कौरवो भग्नोरुः पतितस्य निष्परिजनो जीवनृकैर्भक्षितः कोपैर्विश्वजयी जितस्विजयः काक्षैक्षिता वृष्णयः तस्मात् सर्वमिदं विचार्य सुचिरां शान्त्यै मनोदीयताम्.
Very nice, Arav. Very well recited. We'll meet again on Monday. Again, if for your own good, if you want, please read the Mahabharata. Please go through the recordings. Please attempt the quizzes. And people who do it consistently and people who do it very well will get gifts at the end of the course. Okay. Shall we conclude?
Yes.
If anybody has any more questions, we can send me a mail. So many of you are sending me messages. I'll read them, and if possible, I'll reply to the messages. If not, I'll take it up in the next class. Okay. Namaste.
Namaste. Dhanyavada. We will meet again in Monday's class.